Alright, so this is going to be the beginning of my Gonk Droid, and I'll post some pictures with it as well of which one I'm building. And what I'm starting out with here is Sterilite. They're the 18-gallon containers, and they're the only ones I found that basically had flat sides. It does have a little bit of design on the side over here, which I'm okay with, but the base was flat, and that was important because I wanted to make sure I had a nice flat area for the pan to go in. Now what I'm going to do is actually, this is the Mainstay square cake pan. It was cheap, it was like $3 or $4. Instead of paying almost $8 for a regular pan, but this is what I'm going to use for the base. Second, the tripod. This is the paint I'm going to use. This is the Restoring American Accents, and it's the also this is the kind that bonds to plastic, so I'm not going to worry too much about priming this. But it is satin ink blue, which I'm going to go with kind of the Kenner version of the Power Droid. So, and like I said, I'll post some pictures in that. This part and do a little bit of tracing on the outline for the pan where it's going to go. So I will put this on the tripod real quick, and matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and trace it out and hook some battery power here. Maybe if I can get it's always upside down. On the tripod, and I got battery power. So here's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to take the pan, kind of find actually a little bit higher point on it. I don't want exactly in the center, which I don't know. I may look at some reference pictures and see what would actually look more accurate, if it should be a little higher or down lower. So actually, give me 1 second. I'm going to look on the computer and look at a reference picture real quick. I'm not really super worried about this being totally movie accurate. I'm going to make it look as nice as I can. Let's see, let me find one that's actually shows, from what I'm looking at here, a little higher than center. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave a little bit of an area up underneath it. So the pictures I'm looking at shows it about right there. So I am going to trace the outside diameter of this. And I'll probably just use an X-Acto to cut it. But what I'm going to do, this can, or tin, probably has a 1/4 inch lip. What I'll do, trace inside of this line. About a 1/4 inch, kind of guesstimating here. And I can always trim excess off. This side there is probably about a 1/2 inch. But here's the thing, what I can do is still follow that 1/4 inch line. It's more likely this part will be riveted on. It's a little wider on the inside line, that's okay. I may actually give myself a little bit of room on this side, so I've got more to rivet it to. So the inside diameter line is what I'm going to cut out. And I'm going to get my X-Acto. Anyway, I'm going to take this down from the top part. I'm just going to take my X-Acto, carefully score along that inside line. Like I said, I'm not worried about that being perfect. This is going to be hidden behind the pan anyway. So I've scored it once. First part must have been like super thin because it just went right with the first cut. Be careful with these X-Acto knives because years ago when I was making costumes, I actually broke a tip of this off into this finger. And you can see it's pretty swollen. I can't even close it all the way now. But there's a piece of an X-Acto tip stuck in that joint of that finger. So yeah, be careful. That was probably 10 years ago. It's funny because I went to a doctor about it in Chalice, Idaho, a little small town. Her recommendation was to have it amputated. And no, I'm not cutting my finger off. Sorry. And I would recommend saving this piece of plastic. You can always use it for detail pieces or whatever. See, I'll have to trim a little extra off of that. Actually, got it wide in a few places here. Like I said, this part doesn't have to be perfect because it will be hidden. Still need some taken off the sides. It's kind of a nice project for today because that speaker, we got nailed by a bunch of snow last night. So this is an awesome indoor project for today. I'll go out, take it out, paint it, but you can quickly go out, paint it, return inside to let it dry. So it's almost there except for this corner. So I'm going to take a little extra of this off. Something I would suggest, because this is kind of flimsy. Oh, look at that, it's perfect. Is maybe reinforce the back side with some either thick styrene or Sintra. Perfect. Now this aluminum, I will prime this because paint may not stick to it as well if it's unprimed. Just to make sure it's all flush. It's all flush and it looks pretty straight. I might adjust it here a little bit. Could come down a little on the left side. as long as you don't go past your outside edge line, I think you're golden. Yeah, that's about right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to drill probably maybe 2 holes on each side and run a rivet through it with a washer on the back to rivet that in place. Like I said, save that, you might need it. I decided to do these videos on YouTube. I was doing live videos on Facebook and the quality was not that good. Of course, I'm down here in the pit in the bottom in the basement. But I'm going to try out YouTube and see if the quality's better and just upload videos, stuff like this. So I will go now, I'm going to pause this, go upstairs and get my drill, rivet gun, and rivets. Okay, this is what I'm doing now. I couldn't find I got like a ton of washers around here, I couldn't find them. But I'm going to drill holes right here as soon as my drill gets a decent charge on it. And I'm going to probably cut a piece of ABS or a Sintra, PVC, Sintra, not ABS, to put in back behind this to use as washers to hold it. But here's the thing, as far as greeblies for this, you can pretty much find whatever you can. This is like, I think, a Crayola freaking crayon sharpener. So anything that looks like parts or ports or whatever, electronic connections, I've got different parts from different props I've made. So stuff like this will probably go into different areas of the Power Droid. So anything pretty much you can find, it just looks like, you know, something out of ordinary, a power port or button or a switch or whatever would work awesome for this. So that's where you got to become a little creative and find some items that even, you know, caps off of a hairspray recessed or, you know, anything like that. Any of those kind of pieces and parts can be used for greeblies. So that's something to keep in mind. There's probably a million different things you could use to put on here. Anyway, while I wait for my drill to charge, I will take this outside and drill it so I don't wind up with shavings anywhere here in my carpet. I am doing this inside since the weather's nasty today. But yeah, once I get that on there, maybe get some of the greebly pieces I want in there, and I might take it out and at least put the base coat of blue on it and bring it back down after I get that on there. So then it'll just be a matter of attaching everything and putting it together. I'm not going to do the legs or the feet just yet. That'll probably be something I'll do next week or whatever. But I want to try and at least get most of the main body put together, and then I can add parts and pieces and greeblies or whatever as I go. And I can always put parts in here, spray paint it. You know, if I decide to add something later, spray paint those parts to match this, attach them and glue them in. So, alright, I'm going to pause it for a minute and then hopefully go drill something. Alright, I'm back. Now I took this outside and drilled the holes in it, and I put a coat of primer on it. Now what I'm going to do is basically just mark. Hopefully this is going through all the way. And that's pretty close. Let's see, I actually may have cut just a little too much off the sides, but it's alright, we will make that work. And another option I've got lots of hot glue and hot glue guns, so what it may end up doing is I'm going to go ahead and put the rivets in it. There'll be fake attachment points. That's one of the nice things about hot glue. See, and I knew I should have probably left a little bit extra in there, but that's okay. Hot glue will hold it. These will just be fake looking attachment points. What I'm going to do now, since I'm going to have to go that method, I'm going to go get my hot glue gun, plug it in, and attach that. Be right back. Let's fix this up. We can see a little better here. Now, something also I've found that works really good, and I've used it on other props before, are these little sticky rubber pads, which are basically, they look like buttons. So what I'm going to do is attach several of these in a sequence and get those parts out of there. And they will take acrylic paint. Just the items I've painted before with them, I've used acrylic paint on them, and the acrylic paint seemed to hold pretty well. But yeah, they look like little buttons and switches. And let's see if my glue gun hot yet. It might be. And one nice thing about the glue, hot glue, compared to epoxy or something like that, is it is removable. If you goof up or decide to change something, it's not totally permanent. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to put some power points, different connections in, using different pieces from other props. Got the glue, hot glue. You got to make sure to get all the spider webs off of everything. And this basically is a spray can button. This is the top of, I believe, Rust-Oleum spray cans, but it looks like a knob, which is kind of handy. Now, I've got those initial parts in there, and I am going to add some other things. The thing is, with this one, it's not going to be a wearable costume. It's going to be a stationary thing. And actually, here, this is something else I'll put on there. And these are caps for a scope, rifle scope, that were part of a bow fett scope. So I am going to turn these into knobs. This just kind of gives you an idea of the types of things you can use. And if something happens and you decide, well, you know, I don't really like that, pop it off there, clean off the glue, and move on with plan B. so far that's what I've got. But like I said, this isn't going to be a wearable costume. It's going to be a stationary prop. So I'm not real worried about, you know, somebody being able to see out of it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around through the house and look at some different things. And I actually these are actually Boba Fett attachments for the oh god, I can't think of the name of them right now. For attaching collar, armor, and codpiece. So I will add these in there as well. They will look like buttons. That's the thing, you don't have to be. Ooh, come here. Ah, come here. Won't glue river. You can be as creative as you want with this. I mean, a lot of Star Wars props were made from kit bashing, which was taking parts from other, you know, model kits, whatever. I've actually found some really cool parts in electronics, like radios, stereos, TVs. I've taken apart. Found some really cool pieces I've used on other items before. So this will actually work pretty cool for this. That will be the face. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go out and hit it with some primer real quick and come back in and let it, matter of fact, I'm going to hit it with primer, let it dry, and then I'll attach it to the face. So I'll be back. Okay, so what I've done, I've added the pieces in there. I put a little bit of glue around the underside edge, which I will have to touch up a little bit. But got that painted, put in there, and that is a satin paint, so it will end up being a dull finish. What I'm going to do now is, my hot glue is really running. So I glue the inside edge. To where it doesn't move. Now, so we'll let that set and cool. So I got a little bit of hot glue on the edge here. What I'll do is scrape that off of there. Once it's painted over, it should be fine. This whole thing will end up being weathered. Put a little glue on the bottom side. This hot glue, man, this hot glue gun I have, gets super hot. The nice thing about this piece being metal is if some of the paint is rubbed off, it just looks like weathering. So I will let that cool. And set up, and then I will take the top half and paint it. But anyway, that's that step there done. So you can see I got a little glue right here that kind of seeped under. I'll just take my X-Acto knife and trim it off and peel it. So in the meantime, we'll let that set up and dry. Add a little of that fell off. That's weird. The glue must not have been hot enough. I'll put that on there. Alright, get rid of the spider web. See, nice easy thing about hot glue. Repairs are quick. Anyway, I will paint the outside and then we'll be back. Okay, this is it with the initial blue paint on it. And well, I got in here and where it's warm so it can dry. Something too. Wow, nothing's sticking. Why? Anyway, we'll let this dry and reattach it. Might go a different route. I guess you're reacting with the cold. But anyway, let this dry really good, and then I'll probably, once I get the whole entire thing painted, even the stripes and everything else that's going to go on, and then I'll coat everything with a mist of black spray paint. Mist the entire thing, and then I can add different parts to it. I'm going to do the Sintra E or whatever that goes on the side, attach that to it afterwards, and I won't do any of the weathering until I get everything on it that I want on it. Cool thing about these is you can do them any way you want, and there's no really specific way a Power Droid is supposed to be. There's like tons of different kinds and stuff, so you can do them any way pretty much you want to. Alright, I'm going to pause for a minute. I'll be back. Alright, something to keep in mind with this Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover Paint is it sprays thick. And it's taking quite a while to dry. But I got some runs in the face of all places, which I didn't want them. But yeah, I'll have to see how I can fix that. It's gonna, I have to get in there, pull the parts off, and sand it back and repaint it. So definitely don't want runs in it. But yeah, hold it back at a distance, spray it light. The rest of the body turned out good. It's just I got a little heavy in here in the face part, trying to cover all the parts. And the paint is starting to dry in places, but that ultra thick paint is slow to dry. And it's probably 74 degrees here in my house, and it still is taking it quite a while. You can see where it is drying because it starts to satin up. So we'll wait a little bit longer. I won't have this whole entire thing done today, but I do want to try and at least get the main body done. And like I said, attach, you know, extra pieces and parts to it. I can paint them blue, stick them to it. Then once everything's on it, and I've got the silver along here painted and all the detail pieces and everything on there and painted, then I'll weather everything. Everything will get a weathering, and then I'll come in here with a hand brush and paint some of the pieces silver and red and blue and different stuff. And I may even eventually end up putting some lights on this. So it would be cool to make it look alive. I'm thinking about putting some lights on it. There's a section on the bottom here I'm going to cut out and put a box, some more switches and stuff that's recessed, and more greebly parts, maybe some LEDs inside of it, so I can flip a switch on it, everything lights up. And I'm also going to have sound effects, have the Gonk Droid sounds. So it won't be a wearable costume. It could be if I decided to, but I'd have to have, you know, it'd be a kid-sized costume for sure. I don't know if I'm going to go that far. I think it's just going to be a stationary prop. But I am going to add lights to it, add sound to it. So once everything's done and finished, I'll progress and take more video as I go along too. It might end up being 3 or 4 videos long. But that's the start. And I may cut out the section on the bottom and actually make a box out of Sintra to cockpit behind it, and put the controls and stuff like that. Lights, I'll do lights a little bit later. I'm not in a big hurry to do that right now, but I do want to kind of like get the basic body done and painted, have the recess put in it for the switches or lights or whatever, and we'll do some more videos adding the more pieces to it, the weathering, and doing the legs and feet. I'm thinking doing the feet out of craft foam and EVA foam, basically make block feet. Then I'll cut them and shape them the way I want. I'll spray the it was a rubberized paint. I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head right now. Coat the feet with that, and kind of blend everything in. When we get ready to do the foam feet, we'll do a separate video on that. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to stop here where I'm at right now, and when I get ready to cut the bottom out, paint the bottom, and we'll either add to this video or do it in a separate video. Thanks for watching. Again, this is John at Cargo Hold Collectibles here in Gillette, Wyoming, and this is one of the props I'm going to use for a decoration. And thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and click the bell, and subscribe to my videos. This will be the first one on this channel, so thanks for watching.